everyone, Alpha Eagle here again. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well, and may God bless you all. A while back, I had a discussion with Lil Movie Perp, and if you don't know who he is, he collaborated with the Fandom Initiative on a few videos which I covered. He challenged me to debate him, so I did. Anyway, during one of our discussions, he accused me of not being consistent on my views of race swapping in media. He said that I cared more when a white character's race was swapped, but I didn't care when non-white characters' races were swapped. We will be looking at a clip from that discussion, but before we begin, I'd like to say that I have nothing against Lil Movie Perp, and I will put a link to the entire stream in the description for context. Let's begin. I have no problems with race swaps, and I do
Yeah.
because I feel that
You don't either.
no, I do. I feel
Well,
that
then why didn't you complain about Brad Pitt in Bullet Train?
because I didn't know anything about.
Okay, so now that you know, are you gonna make a video on it? I could give you a list last year, movies that came out last year. Not old movies. Don't worry, these are all new. Do you want that?
But, okay,
and I'll do the video. I'll guest in your video. We're gonna do all the whitewashing that happened last year because there was quite a few.
Okay, he said that there was quite a few examples of whitewashing in movies from 2022. He sent me a link to a Wikipedia article about whitewashing. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Okay, first, I'm sorry, but that picture of Mickey Rooney as Mr. Yunioshi from Breakfast at Tiffany's is hilarious. Some might find it offensive, but it's so over the top and offensive, it makes me laugh because it's so ridiculous. And I wouldn't call this whitewashing as much as it is yellowface, which is a totally different thing from whitewashing. And it even says yellowface in the caption. By the way, speaking of yellowface, you don't seem to see anyone complaining about whiteface in the media. The most recent example I can think of is Coming to America 2 in 2021. Eddie Murphy wasn't canceled for doing whiteface in that movie, but that's another topic. Just so everyone has an understanding on what whitewashing is, let's look at Wikipedia's definition. Whitewashing is a casting practice in the film industry in which white actors are cast in non-white roles. As defined by Merriam-Webster, to whitewash is to alter in a way that favors, features, or caters to white people, such as casting a white performer in a role based on a non-white person or fictional character. According to the BBC, films in which white actors have played other races include all genres. African American roles and roles of Asian descent have been whitewashed, as well as characters from the ancient world in the genre of classical and mythological film. Let's scroll down and let's rearrange this list by most recent year. Lil Movie Perp said that there was quite a few examples of whitewashing in movies from 2022. There's only one. Bullet Train. That's not exactly quite a few. It's just one. Now I'm going to be fair and say that Wikipedia might have missed some, and Lil Movie Perp can give us a bigger list than just one. Anyway, let's continue with the clip. I don't think either way should go. Black to black, black to white. I don't think there should be race swaps. Okay. Now that's what I'm saying. That's how I feel it's being disrespected.
Okay,
And I'm saying that about Bullet Train too. That the people who made Bullet Train didn't respect the source material.
Yeah, and I will say I am not going to take that serious until I actually see you do a video on it. I'm gonna
Challenge accepted. Here's the video. Even though Lil Movie Perp's standards is BS, he claims that if YouTubers don't make videos about something, then they don't care about that thing. So I can say the same thing about Lil Movie Perp. I've never seen Lil Movie Perp make a video about his family, therefore by his own standards, he doesn't care about his family. You see how dumb your argument is, Lil Movie Perp? Anyway, continuing.
I'm gonna help. I'll help you with this one. You're gonna do two. You're gonna get in that algorithm even more because I'm gonna help you out. We're gonna do all the whitewashed characters of 2022.
All the whitewashed characters of 2022. So the one movie.
I bet if I look at all your race swap videos, they're all going to be black, right? You didn't bother to do any research, right? Black or Latino, right? You didn't do any research of that year, of that given year, right? You didn't do any research for all those videos, right?
Wrong. If you look through all my videos, you can find that I did, in the past, say I didn't like that Bane was race swapped. Okay, like I just said, if you go back through my old videos, you will see that I made a video titled Blackwashing Heroes, which happens to be my most viewed video, by the way. Let's hear what I had to say.
Whitewashing is a problem.
I actually agree. I think that Bane should have been played by a Hispanic person instead of a British actor. The thing is, it doesn't happen that often in Hollywood anymore. Rarely do you see any kind of whitewashing whatsoever.
So, as we just heard, it's clear that I am against whitewashing in film. I even gave an example of Bane from Dark Knight Rises. So, regarding race swapping, I am consistent. I don't like it whenever it's done regardless of race. Anyway, to finally get to Bullet Train, let's read what Wikipedia says about it. In the action film based on the Japanese novel by Kotaro Isaka, actors such as Brad Pitt and Joey King played the main characters while the setting was in Japan. Well, first off, just because the writer is Japanese doesn't mean that the characters are Japanese. For example, Black Panther, who is a black man, was created by Jewish men. So, the writer's race sometimes doesn't matter. And second, just because it's set in Japan doesn't mean that the characters have to be Japanese. Look at Big Trouble in Little China. As the title suggests, it takes place in Little China, and some of the characters are white. Continue. In August 2020, King said on Twitter, "I do not believe a white woman should play a character of color. Not me, or any white woman for that matter." Then why were you in this movie? That seems very hypocritical. The few Japanese characters in the movie had smaller roles, and many of the extras were of non-Japanese descent. Okay, again, for one thing, everyone seems to ignore that there is a black actor in this movie. Why is nobody complaining about him not being Japanese? Also, he dyed his hair blonde, which would be white cultural appropriation by the left's standards. Now, I'm going to say that I don't count this as whitewashing at all, and I'll explain why. I see this as simply an American adaptation of a foreign film or book. The earliest example I can think of is Godzilla King of the Monsters from 1956. Where they kind of remade the Japanese Godzilla with Raymond Burr as the star for an American audience. They did that again in Godzilla from 1998, which is an underrated movie in my opinion. And yet again in 2014, which that movie had a couple of sequels. By the way, Godzilla vs. Kong from 2021 is an over-the-top crazy movie that I love. These movies are whitewashed versions of Godzilla. They are simply American adaptations. Another classic example of this is The Magnificent Seven from 1960. It's often referred to as an American adaptation of The Seven Samurai from 1954. The cowboy is an American version of a samurai. So again, this is not whitewashing, it's an adaptation for an American audience. Foreign countries does this exact same thing all the time with American properties. The Japanese Spider-Man is a great example of this. It takes an American IP and then it adapts it for a Japanese audience. I wouldn't count this as yellow washing or race swapping. It's simply a Japanese adaptation of an American property. Spider-Man isn't even Peter Parker in this series. I mean, Spider-Man even has a mech in it. So it's very different from the American version of Spider-Man. So I would put Bullet Train in that same category. It's an American adaptation of a Japanese property. It's not whitewashing. I invite Lil Movie Perp to give his input on this video. And maybe we will do a collab together. Who knows? Anyway, that's about it for this video. I'm Alpha Eagle. God bless you for watching. God bless America. And I pray that Hollywood stops it with the race swapping. And that goes for both whitewashing and blackwashing.